Okay, so the mistake that we made was we have not changed the name of the controller. So the VF page that we have over here, the entry one and this one, both needs to be the same. So I'll save it. So now if I go to the entry VF page and it got downloaded, now you see it's a PDF Namrata Mumbai. Okay. So let me repeat the whole thing. First, we made an entry VF page. Inside the entry VF page, first what we did is we created Apex include lightning, and then we added a script inside it. Inside the script, we called a method called load components. This load components, what it did is it came inside and we used a lightning.use middleware app. Now, middleware app is a lightning Aura Lightning app. Inside this app, I've used Lightning Out app. Okay. And then inside the dependency, I have added the name of the Lightning Web component that I've made. Now, this is a Lightning Web component that I've made. In this Lightning Web component, I am using connected callback. Okay. And in connected callback, what I'm doing is the param data that I have, I am adding some attributes and its value. And then what I'm doing is I'm dispatching an event. The name of the event is call VF and the parameter that I'm passing is inside detail. This is what I'm passing. The moment that gets called, uh, in my case, it's on connected callback. You could make a button as well. And on the click of that button as well, you can call this event, but I called it on connected callback. Upon connected callback, that component gets called. And by the way, here when you give the middleware app, you also need to say Lightning create component and then name of the Lightning component which you wish to call. Inside that Lightning component, you could also, by the way, pass a parameter that is optional. If you don't want to, just remove this and let this bracket be blank. This is how you do it, and the Lightning Web component gets called. Now, after the Lightning Web component is called and connected callback gets called in that Lightning Web component, an event called call VF is dispatched. Now to listen to that event in our VF page, what we are going to do is we are going to do a document.add event listener. Inside that, we have call VF, and on call of this particular event, I'm going to call a function. Inside this function, what I'm going to do is over there, I had returned my param data, entire param data inside detail. Inside param data, I had name and city. So what I'm saying is over here event.detail, and then within that I had name, and within that I had city. I don't need to write param data over here because param data itself is stored in detail. So whatever was the inside param data, I need to use that. Now, what I'm going to do is because I want to use Apex action function over here, I am going to create a form, Apex form, okay, which by the way, opens before the script and closes after the script. And inside that Apex form, I'm using a Apex action function. The name is, I've given something. And on that action being called, like on that action being called, I'm calling a function. Okay. That function I'd be putting inside the action property. Now, what next I've done over here in the add event listener is, first of all, I got these values from the LWC component and stored it in some or the other variable. Like I've created two variables over here, name and city. Now, the next thing that I'm doing is in the form, I've created 3 hidden fields as well. Now, why have I created them hidden is because I don't want to show these fields actually in my entry VF page. In my entry VF page, it has to be blank. So that's why I've just hidden these fields. Now I have these fields, and inside those fields, I want to put value. When I say value, it means I have used this variable to store the value of this particular field. This variable to store the value of this particular field, and this variable to store the value of this particular field. So what I'm going to do is the first one's ID is hit data. So I'm going to say document.getElement by ID. And this is the syntax to get that component. And inside the value, which is this one. So I'm just going to say hit data.value equal to whatever value I want to put. Same goes for name data and name. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say document.getElement by ID and name data. Okay. I'll get that in a variable and then name data.value, which is I'm putting inside this and I'm saying name. So this variable that I got from LWC, I'm putting it over here. And same goes for city. So we have city data, right? So I'll again do document.getElement by ID city data. I put it over here. And then the value inside the city data, which is this variable, I am saying that I'm putting some value inside that variable, which I got from LWC component. After that is done, next thing that I'm doing is I'm calling that Apex action function, whose name is JS generate PDF. JS generate PDF is over here. So because this gets called, this function gets called. Now this function, which is there, is present in this controller. So I go to this controller and this method gets called. Now, when this method gets called, inside this method, what I'm doing is I'm calling a VF page, another VF page, which I'm actually rendering as a PDF. So I've called that VF page. So I'm saying /apex/PDF generate. So this is the name of my VF page. So I've called that. And then if I leave it up to that much, if I don't add this line, what will happen is, first of all, I'll go to this entry VF page and I open that. Okay. So it will open a PDF this way and it would give me an option to download. But if I want to auto download it, I don't want to click on that and all that. Then what am I supposed to do is I'm going to add this line, which would say that this is going to be as an attachment. So it needs to be downloaded. And also I'm stating the name of that PDF. So it's done. Now let me go to my entry. And yeah, by the way, you also need to return the page reference. That is important. And make sure that in this method, after you call this, you also use this syntax. Okay. Okay. And then the next thing that we are doing is in the entry VF page, I'm going to do a preview. It shows this is LWC and you see it got downloaded also. And you see the message that I had passed from my LWC component got rendered over here. So that is about it. If this video helped, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.